Words don't have to be perfect to be a great caregiver or care well for someone. Sometimes it's just the presence, it's the quiet moments that can matter the most or that can mean the most. Sharing that presence, just sitting there quietly. I've had some moments that I shared with my dad, which I absolutely loved and treasured. He used to come over to my house every Sunday, and I had these two captain chairs, leather captain chairs, and these two little ottomans. And I would sit in front of the fireplace with my dad. He'd sit in one chair, I'd sit in the other. And sometimes we'd put the fireplace on in the winter, and he'd just come over and sit with me, and he'd fall asleep sometimes in his chair, and he'd be snoring, and it was just the cutest thing ever. He just wanted to come over and say hello and share some moments with me with his daughter. His kids meant so much to him, and he just loved spending time with us. Even on the weekends when he was always so busy growing up and fixing things around the house because he traveled, he was a truck driver. He always spent time and put time aside for us. And that was something that mattered the most, that we make sure that we do the same for our dad because we loved him so much and we just enjoyed his company. But sitting there with dad in the library, we called it. We had all these library cases kind of like this behind me, but it was just such a beautiful room and it was so relaxing, and we had the fireplace on. When dad would fall asleep, sometimes we'd be holding hands across just from his chair to mine, and I would go into the living room or the kitchen and I would bake something and go in there and bake and then come back in and sit with him while the baking was going on in the oven. And then when the timers would go off, I'd go out there and just kind of let things cool. But dad would wake up and he'd just look over at me and smile, and I would put my hand back in his. And it's just those quiet moments that matter or mean the absolute most. Nothing can give you that time or those precious moments. Nothing. No money can buy that. It is all about support, love, and time, and making those moments together. And taking pictures or videos. I remember taking so many videos of dad and just listening to his voice, because pictures are great, but seeing people with their mannerisms or their facial expressions or, their emotions, it's just wonderful to capture that and have that in the stories that dad would tell me of his childhood. I just loved it. It was just so great when you had those moments when dad had more energy one day and he was able to talk more and to kind of tell his stories. It's just really, really precious moments to have when you can share those together, those quiet moments. It's not about buying things. It's not about going all out or doing huge things together. It's just care doesn't have to be loud or spoken. Care is being together and just having the quiet, those moments to cherish forever.